Let's talk about the power of images with Pam Grossman, Visual Trends Director at Getty Images. Great to speak to you here in Cannes. How has the portrayal of women changed over the last decade or 20 years?
Well, what's wonderful to see is that women were often very ancillary or very objectified, both in advertising and on film. And we still have a lot of work to do, but we are starting to see some really positive change in that area. We're seeing women with agency, with power, with interesting, nuanced lives reflected all over media, and it's very, very exciting.
It seems like a lot has happened just over the past decade. In 2007, the most popular, the most purchased image on Getty's, that was, I believe, a naked model, essentially, a female naked model. And then just a couple of years later, it was a fully clothed woman. What's happened in the meantime?
Absolutely. Well, what's happened is social media. For the first time in history, we have more females than males who are overtaking a mass platform. So whether it's Facebook or Pinterest or Snapchat, it's more women than men who are telling their own narrative. And when you give women power, surprise, they like to see themselves with clothing on. They like to see themselves represented with power, owning businesses, really reflecting the full spectrum of their complicated and interesting lives.
So it's not something that necessarily you have driven, but it's something that's sort of happened organically because of the rise of social media and because women feel more empowered.
Well, at Getty Images, we are the world's leading visual content company, and so we do have a lot of power and a lot of responsibility that comes with that. So certainly there's a big movement that's happening in the visual landscape overall, but I'm really proud to say that Getty Images has been a driver of that. We started the Lean In collection in 2014, which was groundbreaking, and it, for the first time, had a major visual content company put a stake in the ground and say, hey, we want to see women who are represented as full beings who have agency over their own lives.
The major question is when it comes to promoting equality for women, when it comes to gender, also when it comes to LGBT rights, are we just simply ticking the boxes? Are we forcing this too much? Is it still credible?
I think you absolutely have to make sure that you are being as inclusive as possible. But to your point, just having one person of every shade or every kind of gender or sexuality can absolutely feel a little bit forced and a little bit contrived. That's why it's so important to have people represent themselves because, you know, to your point, if you are somebody who's outside of these communities and you're just trying to, you know, kind of represent the whole rainbow of human experience, it can feel quite contrived and quite inauthentic.
Thank you.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.